Welcome to my first espresso in 2026. Yes, again, we had a turbulent start of the year on the geopolitical side, and most of those turbulences came from the US, addressed by US President Donald Trump. And this is not a new theme for the beginning of the year. Last year, it were no actions from the US president, it were more speculation about the future policy. That has changed now. This time we have seen some demonstration of power by the military actions in Venezuela, and because of that we have another quality here. There are threats to other South American countries, there are threats to invade in Iran, and there is a clear demand to take over Greenland. When we heard this attempt a year ago in the inauguration speech, we more thought it is a joke, but this time we know it's real. And it's the difference between the demands to NATO member countries to spend more on defense and to have Greenland. So the threats that are coming now, it's purely in US interest, and it's nothing about strengthening this defense alliance. That makes the situation much more serious than it used to be. And this is also becoming more evident in European circles. So we are likely to see some confrontation on the trade side coming up after the threat of the US president to increase tariffs on Europe. So there will be a confrontation coming, and this is likely to have some costs on the European side. If Europe, what we think is likely to act together, comes up with countermeasures and making sure that the power of European consumers is playing a role in these negotiations, then it will come to a cost to the European economy. And therefore, we think it's not just this 10% tariff increase which will hurt particularly German exports. There will be more negative implications coming through, and therefore we reduce our growth forecast for Germany from 1.4 to 1.0%. Nevertheless, there is a huge fiscal stimulus coming in, and it's probably getting more with measures to defend Europe and spending more on defense on a German and European scale. So there is still a recovery coming through, and therefore the ECB is likely to react at the end of the year with an interest rate hike to 2.25%. On the US side, the situation is different. We have seen attacks on the Fed coming from the US president with the criminal action announcement against him to be implemented soon. We have still the ongoing court decision upon Lisa Cook, and all of those issues make clear that the undermining of independence on the Fed is underway. And we think that the new Trump-loyal chief of the US Fed will go through with further rate cuts through the course of the year. We expect 3 rate cuts in the second half, bringing the Fed funds rate down to a range of 2.75 to 3%. On the long end, this is not likely to reduce the long-term yields, but it will increase it because we have a loss of confidence in the US, and therefore we think that 10-year treasuries will go up to 4.4%. And also in Europe, the long Bund end is likely to move higher, partly because of the developments in the US, but mainly due to the fact that there is more issuance coming through. Therefore, we expect 10-year bonds to be at 3.2% at the end of the year. Looking at the other asset classes, with the confrontation between Europe and the US going on, we think that equity markets will take a hit. We see some correction in the next couple of weeks, but by the end of the year, the situation should improve again. And the outperformer for the year so far, gold, is also likely to have a bit of a dip. This is mainly due to the fact that in the Lisa Cook case, the Supreme Court is not likely to vote in favor of Mr. Trump, so that could at least give some hope that the undermining of independence of the Fed is not taking up speed immediately. So there could be some consolidation in the gold price, but by the end of the year, we think it's being close to $5,000 per ounce. Our forecast is 4,900.